Just, I guess they're like, they want to see everything, and I don't have a view looking up here, so yeah.
Oh yeah, because last year you're in the back, so you got to see
Got to
that.
at least see some of that. Maybe next time,
Who
maybe
knows
we're
in the
gonna,
future?
yeah, have one extra one facing. But everything's good.
first a round of applause for our musicians. Chair of the New School Board of Trustees, faculty, partners, family members, friends, alumni, and the 2026 graduates of the New School for Social Research. What a glorious day. Now, many hours of labor, for some of you many years, have brought you to this moment, a time to recognize both accomplishment and transition. And I think a moment of inflection calls for perhaps a few minutes of reflection. Take a minute to remember your first day in an NSSR class. Or remember when you read an article, a book that fundamentally altered the way you thought about your discipline or the world. Recall a time with a classmate that made you smile or laugh or pulled you through a tough moment. Reflect on a conversation with a faculty member that complicated what you thought was simple or made simple what you thought was complicated. And you and I know something else. You didn't do this alone. Others helped you to get here and helped you get through, and it would not be inappropriate to turn to them now and show your appreciation. So, these moments have flown by, haven't they? And yet, a lot has happened. I am rather certain that in important ways you are leaving a different person than when you arrived. With the help of people on the stage and your fellow classmates, you've thought deeper and you ventured wider. And you're probably leaving with many more questions than answers, which is the whole point of an NSSR education. There are loud voices in the land clamoring for an education keyed to skills training, as if our job, yours and theirs, is to mold you to an employer's needs, the social and economic system's requirements. We see it differently. We think your task is to help break the mold. It's a difficult time in our nation and the world. The challenges need not be repeated. They're known to any thinking person and surely to every member of this well-informed audience. And I will not, as many speakers might, ask you to go forth and change the world, perhaps as graduates of schools in Cambridge and New Haven are regularly told. But I would urge you to make two demands on this troubled world. At every moment of injustice, every official act of cruelty, ask the question we repeatedly ask here. Demand to know why. Why in this world of boundless imagination, of startling beauty, of natural wonder, of intellect and know-how, why are such things done and why are they tolerated? And what should follow is a demand for accountability. More and more we live in a world where the powerful act with impunity and immunity. Your degree, your membership in the NSSR alumni community, your ability to understand and critique the world give you privileges and power. I urge you to use what you've acquired here to help those who are being harmed but fear resisting or speaking up lest they be canceled, vilified, or deported. But for today, we're going to put these somewhat lugubrious thoughts aside. We're going to celebrate. We're going to sing praises to you and all that you've accomplished, and we'll dance not to the perils, but to the promise of the future. Today we share with pride, the pride of your parents, family members, partners, and friends, and we say, well done, class of 2026. Well done. We begin our program tonight with an address from our student speakers, and I now invite Assistant Dean Francesco Ferrono to introduce our student speakers.
It is my pleasure to introduce two student speakers for this year's ceremony. Our first speaker is Nandini from our MFA program in Creative Writing. Nandini came to the New School directly from her undergraduate studies with a deep love of literature, politics, and writing. Like many of our students, she arrived with a more singular idea of what she had come to study. But once here, she embraced the distinctly new school habit of traversing boundaries. While working at the Vera List Center for Art and Politics, she took up painting. Later, as a Write-On Fellow teaching creative writing to high school students, she discovered a love of teaching. Nandini's final creative project moved across fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and visual art to explore our experience of time, from love to capitalism and climate catastrophe. She views writing and storytelling as one of her most powerful approaches to activism. Nandini, please come forward to address your fellow graduates.
Thank you, Francesca. I start my time here with the words of Mahmoud Darwish. My heart is not made of paper. The time has come for me to part. The time has come for the thorn to pierce my heart so that I may see my heart and hear it and feel it. The time has come for the poet to kill himself. Professors, parents, students, good evening. Here tonight are writers, journalists, historians, anthropologists, economists, researchers, philosophers, policymakers, sociologists who make the NSSR graduate class of 2026. Congratulations, we have done it. When I moved here from India 2 years ago for my MFA, I could not have pictured the world as it is today. I doubt any of us could have. So those like me who left their homes and countries to study at this school, breathe. I am so very proud of us all. It feels very special to be here speaking to you. Growing up, my favorite quote was, "We are who we are for a lot of reasons, and maybe we will never know most of them." I am so incredibly lucky because I know my reasons and I see them here. My mother, who once famously said that I should study literature because I like to read books. My sister, who then told me that I should study writing because I like to write. My father, who is a writer. I would not be here without you guys. I love you. To all parents, family, friends, thank you for your endless support. I love you all. To all professors here, I express my deepest gratitude. The Creative Writing Department, thank you. Laurie Lynn Turner for carrying us all. My thesis advisor, my thesis advisor, Jaime Burizo. I am blessed to have had this opportunity. Kumon Felix, Clevis Natera, Emily Flake, Emily Exarpan, Robert Polito, Luis Jaramillo, Larissa Pham, Eugene Thacker, thank you for your dedication to your craft. It inspires us every single day. In my second semester, I broke a bone on my finger during a cartooning class at Johnson Hall. True story. Laura Cronk came to my house a few days later with boxes of homemade food and oven mitts to protect my fingers. I hope to be a teacher like you one day. John Reed met with me in his office and we played with puppets and made jokes. Helen Schulman insisted that we go back to the scene of crime and record a video. Thank you for taking care of us in all your unique ways. There were also those who never replied to my email, but that's okay. All teachers here, you have molded our lives with such great care, providing us opportunities inside and outside the classroom. We would not be here without you. Thank you. Here, I have felt love tangibly. I have seen students look after one another, cooking, making art, writing papers together. I have heard the collective sigh when List Library closes at 8 p.m. and everyone has to relocate. I share this stage with my friends who are here in my heart. I know with great certainty all of you are about to get really famous. Grace, Afi, Hijab, the world isn't ready for you. Nia and Michelle, I know I will be seeing you on every stage. Kyra, Eli, Tuanda, your honesty in craft makes this world better. Thank you. Gracie, Rachel, Pramiti, Grace, Stefan, Camilla, Tiernan, Marcus, Olivia, Shobia, Ash, Eden, I am honored to have shared your light. Today we are all embarking on a new chapter and I am scared. I know some of us are here scared too, but I know that the knowledge we have championed here, we will find our own paths and I hope our paths collide. Zadie Smith, during the 2011 New School Commencement speech asked, if university made me special, am I worth more than my father or his father before him? I ask us the same question. And then I ask us to consider what is the difference between us and the hungry children in Gaza, or the families mining in Congo, or the students living in Lebanon, or Haiti, or Sudan, or Iran, or indigenous families being hunted. What is the difference and what do we do with this difference? Does the poet kill himself? No, the poets govern. The poets must govern. And poetry isn't just for poets. Rilke wrote that poems are not as people think, simply emotions, they're experiences. That for the sake of a single poem, you must see many cities, many people and things. You must understand animals, you must see how the birds fly. I hope we fly high. I hope we listen to our grandparents and parents and animals. I hope we write letters and diaries and document our time. I hope we experience the deaths. We are not dying. My friends, I think love is resistance, so be brave and resist. Protect the communities you have built here, build things together. The climate is changing. We need to protect those who need us to protect them. We are not people of paper, we are people of heart. And the time has come for us to part. I'm so excited that we get to share our hard work now with the world. Thank you so much, everyone. Congratulations and Free Palestine.
Thank you, Nandini. Our second speaker is Udipta Chakravarti, graduating with a PhD in sociology. Having studied math and economics and drawn by anti-war activism and movements for racial justice, Udipta came to the NSSR to study social and political theory. As he moved from the master's to PhD, he and his classmates were confronted with the global pandemic. During and after those semesters of uncertainty, they continued building intellectual and political community, organizing conferences, workshops, and reading groups, and participating in labor actions for cafeteria workers and academic student workers alike. Alongside this work, Udipta's own research evolved to explore democratic theory, anti-colonial movements, and collective identity, asking how the concept of the people is imagined, organized, and mobilized in moments of political struggle. This August, Udipta will continue his teaching and research as a Harper Schmidt Fellow at the University of Chicago. Udipta.
Thank you, Francesca, Dina Linikov, and the graduate faculty for nominating me to speak here. I'm very honored, and congratulations, my fellow graduates. You should be proud of your achievement. You have struggled and survived through your perseverance, but we, of course, did not do it alone. Many helped us along the way. I'd like to begin by thanking the staff at the Dean's Office and Academic Affairs, Sherry Cohen and Francesca in particular, the department secretaries, student advisors, and in the background, the IT, security, building, and custodial staff. They have made this event possible, but more importantly, they and many others have made our education possible through daily, often invisible labor. Next, I'd like to thank the faculty. We all know how much we have learned from each one of you and with you, and you have molded us into the thinking beings we are. It is absurd to say this out loud, but we live in absurd times. Without a robust full-time faculty, there is no academic institution. Finally, a thank you to the friends and family who are here and those who are watching from home. Our parents, family, friends, and comrades inject vitality into our lives. Without them, none of this is possible. Without them, all of this is meaningless. This is the first time I've been invited to give a speech, so I apologize. I will exploit this opportunity to the fullest and go beyond the designated time limit because I have a few things to say. My task, as it was explained to me, was to share reflections about my experiences here and say something celebratory. As I have reflected on my time here, however, given the situation we are in, I'm overwhelmed with a sense of impending loss, because this place we call our intellectual home, the New School for Social Research, is under assault and withering from within. Faculty, staff, and our colleagues are sitting here smiling because they're happy for us, but they are also concealing a sense of foreboding for the news they will receive in the coming days. They are concerned about their livelihood, the conditions of their work, and their futures. Without faculty, staff, and our colleagues, NSSR will not be the place it is. It is hard to be and say something celebratory in such a moment. So instead, preparing for the speech, I asked myself, what exactly am I feeling a sense of loss for? What is it about this entity, NSSR, that I feel the need to hold on to? NSSR is obviously not its buildings. It is not the name nor the legacy. It is definitely not the administration. It is also not just the persons who work here or have worked here. So what is this elusive, immaterial substance of the NSSR, the soul or spirit of the school, if you will, that we all are, in our own ways, struggling to preserve? Without wanting to be hubristically definitive, I'll share here my inchoate reflections on this question. At its very best, there are three things, to my mind, that seem constitutive of the NSSR. I know we all have had particular experiences and struggles here, but I hope what I say resonates with most of you. First, NSSR represents a distinct scholarly tradition, not a dogmatic one, but one shaped by the traces of its foundings, especially in 1919 and 1933. Social research at this institution begins with fundamental questions that concern our collective social, political, cultural, and ecological lives. Our research into these questions transgress disciplinary boundaries. Our inquiries are not blandly descriptive or positivistic. We think in conceptually and theoretically rigorous ways because we understand that the terms we use and the theories we deploy have normative content. They express political and philosophical standpoints. Our inquiries are furthermore historically informed. We ask the question, how did we get here? Because we recognize that the world we encounter is not natural nor inevitable. Finally, research here is politically committed and critical. We are engaged with the world and hold normative commitments against suffering, alienation, and injustice. Our scholarship emphatically expresses the belief that the world need not be as it is, that it can and must be different. Social research at NSSR is serious, interdisciplinary, critical, theoretically and conceptually astute, historically sensitive, and politically committed. Second, NSSR is also a space for an ethical form of life rooted in solidarity and community. Graduate students especially know that we do not get the financial and institutional support that a student at well-endowed university might get. Our response to this Our response to this unequal situation is to persistently build community. We volunteer for conferences, departmental and university service. We develop reading groups and seminars to learn from each other. We create workshops for dissertation writing, learning archival methods, learning to critique each other's work. Instead of toxic competition, we recognize that a fellow comrade's challenge is our collective challenge, and a comrade's success is our collective success. This ethic naturally bleeds into the seminar room, where we cultivate practices of thinking with each other generously, albeit critically. Folks at NSSR are emancipated from the view that intellectual work is solipsistic. Learning, thinking, and knowing is indeed and can only be collective. Third, the NSSR spirit entails an abiding commitment to political praxis. This was true of our founders, and it is still true today. We don't fetishize the recluse of ivory towers, but throw ourselves into the muck and mire of politics on the ground. In my time here, there have been countless protests and mobilizations, from organizing a sanctuary campus to joining labor struggles, building transnational solidarity, and to also resist previous attempts at restructuring this institution. We have had 3 worker strikes of part-time faculty and student workers. And we have had 2 occupations, the first against firing of cafeteria workers, to the second to protest genocide in Gaza. From the local to the global, folks at NSSR have fought for the right causes. So a distinct scholarly tradition, an ethical form of life rooted in solidarity, and a commitment to political praxis, these are constitutive elements of the NSSR spirit. Taken together, they make this place fundamentally unique. The faculty, staff, and students who work here are formed by and contribute to this unique character. Without continued institutional support and personnel, however, these elements and this spirit cannot thrive. And make no mistake, the spirit of NSSR is under threat. It is threatened by the very persons tasked with managing it. These managers don't understand what we do, they understand profits and budgets. They impose austerity, and they claim that they are saving this institution. This is Orwellian talk. They undermine the very substance of this institution. They kill its soul to save their exorbitant salaries. We cannot We certainly cannot see this situation in isolation. It is a microcosm of our global predicament. We live in profoundly dark times. Oligarchic power is ascendant, tyrannical governments rule, genocides are called self-defense, ecological catastrophes unfold unabated, and critical social thought is under generalized assault. More so than ever, we are haunted by the famous refrain, "What is to be done?" More so than ever, we seem devoid of answers to these fundamental questions. I have no answers to offer, and I'm generally a pessimistic guy. I only have the intuitive but firm conviction that if there is any good to happen, the spirit of NSSR has a role to play. The task then is to keep the flame burning, to keep the spirit alive. As Hannah Arendt said, even in the darkest of times, we have the right to expect some illumination. Those who will remain at this institution will have to fight to preserve its spirit by defending the integrity of what we do in their classrooms, seminars, conferences, and so on. For those who are graduating and leaving this place, perhaps we too have a part to play. We have been trained in the NSSR's scholarly tradition. We are practitioners of its ethics. We embody its commitment to political praxis. You and I are bearers of the spirit of NSSR. It is expressed and will be expressed in the work we do, the relations we build, and the causes we commit to. In us, I like to think, the spirit of NSSR is alive, and in us, it must stay alive. That is both our privilege and obligation to this very special place. Thank you.
These were two very different speeches, but no. But in a way, they were the same speech, because they were a speech about the specialness of this community. And maybe Udipta, you're a pessimist, I'm an optimist, and I'll say this: NSSR is going nowhere, and we will keep it here. And I hope that you'll be back for your 10th and your 20th and your 50th reunion in years ahead. Next, I'd like to welcome our faculty speaker. Simon Critchley is the Hans Jonas Professor of Philosophy at the New School for Social Research. He's written over 20 books, including studies of Greek tragedy, David Bowie, football, suicide, Shakespeare, Heidegger, How Philosophers Die, and the novella, yes, that's all true. As co-editor of The Stone at the New York Times, Critchley showed that philosophy plays a vital role in the public realm. Please welcome Simon Critchley.
Okay, follow that. Thank you to Nandini and thank you to Udipta. That was both wonderful speeches. And thank you to Sherry and to Francesca. And okay, 8 minutes. Dean, Vice Dean, faculty, colleagues, families, friends, and most importantly today, graduates. Graduates! Let's give it up for the graduates of the New School for Social Research 2026. Well, it's been another peaceful, happy, crisis-free year at the New School. And we here on stage are all feeling very relaxed and assured in our continued employment at this fair institution. All in all, a year of spectacular positivity. I've never been asked to give a recognition speech before. A word about the word recognition. It is, as some of you know, a very loaded term for some people in this room. Hegel, Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, made an entire philosophical career out of it. Wars of varying scale have been fought around different meanings of that word. There are graduate students within 50 feet of me who are still actively troubled by it and saying under their breath, no recognition without redistribution. Not Hegel, but Marx. This evening, we're using the word recognition to mean there will be cake at the reception. Sadly, there won't be alcohol. Because the New School banned, yes, ladies and gentlemen, no alcohol. Because the New School banned alcohol from public events last summer, which is a deeply, deeply silly thing to do. So I hope you brought a hip flask or a secret stash. What I want to say in one word is the following: congratulations. Sincere, heartfelt congratulations. You did it. You actually did it. You completed your degrees in a city that does not sleep, in an institution that does not really believe in walls, in a discipline, whatever discipline you chose. Of course, you should have chosen philosophy. That does not promise you a salary commensurate with the size of your reading list and the scale of your financial debt. And yet, you are here in your robes. Why am I shouting? And your finery. In your robes and your finery. Looking, if I may say so, slightly stunned and unbearably, almost unbearably hopeful. But hang on to that, those things, the astonishment and the hope. I want to speak briefly about three things: about where you are, about what you have done, and about what, God help us, comes next. Where you are, the new school, our school, is, as you know, an experiment that began in 1919 when a group of slightly cantankerous intellectuals decided that universities in America were not quite up to the seriousness of the modern condition and resolved to make a new one. Then, in the 1930s and 40s, when European thought was being thrown out of European windows, this place opened its doors and called itself a university in exile and welcomed people who went on to define a century of philosophy and social thought. Hannah Arendt taught here, Hans Jonas taught here, Leo Strauss taught here, Rainer Sherman taught here, Aaron Gervich, Agnes Heller, Jacques Derrida, Julia Kristeva. The list goes on, and it is, let's be honest, a slightly intimidating list to inherit. But you should not be intimidated, you should be emboldened. Because what unites those names is not genius, although there's plenty of that. What unites them is they each understood that thinking is a form of practical responsibility for the world. Thinking is practical responsibility for the world. They thought, as Arendt would say, and the man who hired me 2 decades and more, Dick Bernstein, would say, they thought without banisters. And you thought without banisters. Which brings me to what you have done. You spent years, some of you, what feels like most of a decade, sitting in rooms on Fifth Avenue or somewhere between 11th and 16th Streets, and on Zoom in your kitchens and bedrooms, arguing about what a concept is, what a community is, what justice could possibly mean in a world that seems determined to misunderstand that word. You have read until your eyes watered. You've written sentences and then crossed them out or deleted them. You've sat in front of seminar tables passionately defending positions that, by week 6 of the semester, you were no longer entirely sure that you held. And that's not a failure of conviction, that's what it feels like to think honestly. You've argued with your advisors, you've argued with your friends, and you've argued, most importantly, with yourselves. Along the way, somewhere between the 3rd espresso and the 4th draft, something happened. You became scholars. You became, in the older and grander sense of the word, intellectuals. And there's nothing wrong with that. You became people for whom the unexamined life is, as the person who founded philosophy 2.5 millennia ago and who got executed by the city of Athens for the trouble insisted is not worth living. The unexamined life is not worth living. It's not worth the trouble. And I want you to dwell on this for a moment because I think it matters. The education that you've received here is not, I'm English, I use understatement, is not in any obvious sense a marketable skill. Sorry. What you have instead is something stranger, something stronger, and something more durable. You have a tolerance for difficulty. You have a suspicion of slogans. You have the patience to hold a question open long enough to see what it is actually asking. In a culture that increasingly mistakes speed for thought and noise for argument, this is not a small inheritance. It is, I would say, a form of citizenship. And right now, a rather urgently needed one. And let me let you in on a secret, just between us, just I'll speak quietly. These skills, these things that you've learned here, these are the virtues that employers are looking for. Increasingly, in a world dominated by AI, you have discrimination, you have taste, you have critical judgment, and you have built-in bullshit detectors. And this is what any employer worth their name wants. So things might go quite well for you. But don't tell anyone. And so, what comes next? This is the part of the speech where I traditionally am supposed to tell you to follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. I will not do that because I'm a philosopher and I'm suspicious of dreams. Dreams, as Freud knew, are just mostly anxiety and unresolved dirty business with your parents that we don't want to get into any of that. What I will say instead is this: follow your seriousness. Follow your seriousness. Follow the questions that have refused to leave you alone. The ones that woke you up at 3 a.m. during your first year and are, if you're honest, still standing at the foot of the bed. Those questions are not obstacles to your life. They are your life. They are the thread. Some of you will go on to teach. Some of you will go on to write. Some of you will become therapists. I wasn't expecting a laugh on that. Some of you will become therapists. Yeah. Some of you are going to law. Nothing. Or into policy, or into organizing, or into the arts, or into business, or into work that does not yet have a name because you are about to invent it. Some of you, and if I know New School for Social Research graduates at all, will do 4 of these things simultaneously and not complain about being tired. Wherever you end up, take the seminar room with you. Take what you have done here with you. Take the habit of listening before speaking. Take the willingness to change your mind when the argument is better than yours. Take the conviction, and this is a New School conviction going all the way back to 1919, that the world is not finished, and that thought has something to do with refusing to let it finish badly. Thinking makes the world better, and you are thinkers. I'll end. I'll end with something that I've always loved from the greatest philosophical poet in English in the last century, Wallace Stevens. He wrote that after the final no, there comes a yes, and on that yes, the future world depends. After the final no, there comes a yes, and on that yes, the future world depends. That is, I think, the small, stubborn, unreasonable thing you were being asked to carry from here. Not a yes to everything, because that would get you into serious trouble, but a yes underneath the nose, a yes to the work, a yes, and I've noticed in particular this year, in an incredibly powerful, a yes to one another as a community of scholars and thinkers. A yes ultimately to the strange and unfinished and frankly improbable project of being a thinking person in a world that very often would prefer that you weren't. So graduates, you are extraordinary. You always were, but now there's paperwork to prove it. So go gently, go fiercely, come back and visit. And from all of us who've been lucky enough to think alongside you as your teachers, thank you, congratulations, and well done.
Thank you, Simon. We next turn in our program to the first award of the evening. This is the University in Exile Award. The New School established the University in Exile in 1933, as Simon mentioned, to provide a haven for scholars whose lives and careers were threatened by the rise of National Socialism. And to commemorate that action and the university's commitment to academic freedom, to human rights and democracy, the Board of Trustees established the University in Exile Award. This year's recipient of the University in Exile Award is Robert H. Mundheim. As a refugee from Nazi Germany, Bob Mundheim has a deep connection to the New School's University in Exile, and his dedication to the educational mission of the New School is evidenced by his many years of service on the Board of Trustees and the Board of Governors of the New School for Social Research. In his professional life, Bob has hit the legal trifecta. He's been a lawyer extraordinaire in a premier law firm. He has served in the Academy of Dean of the University of Pennsylvania Law School and a professor at several other law schools, and he has had a distinguished career in public service. Bob, you've said that your proudest professional moment was in late 1980 and early 81 when, while serving as general counsel in the U.S. Treasury Department, you played a major role in negotiating the release of 52 Americans who had been held hostage in Iran for many days. Few people have ever had the chance to play such a direct and important part in securing others' freedom. Bob Mundheim has also served in many other educational and civic organizations, including the American Academy in Berlin, the Appleseed Foundation, Curtis Institute of Music, Salzburg Global Seminar, and the American College of Governance Council. He's been recognized with many distinguished service awards. The university has benefited immeasurably from Bob's wisdom and steadfast support, and speaking personally, I can say that as a member of the NSSR Board of Governors, Bob has provided invaluable counsel and has taken particular interest in providing support to our PhD students. Robert Mundheim is with great pride and deep admiration that the New School for Social Research bestows upon you the University in Exile Award for 2026.
The University in Exile Award has a particularly important meaning for me because, as you said, it was kind of born in 1933. Guess what? So was I. The other part is the exile aspect. Now, I'm not a scholar in exile, but I was born in Germany, lived in Hamburg in November 1938, which for some of you, that will ring a bell, Kristallnacht. And I was very lucky and was granted exile to the United States. That was a lot better than my two cousins, my aunt, who were taken to concentration camp and murdered. So sometimes being lucky matters an awful lot, and it did. And I'm grateful for this memory. Thank you.
So our second award I know this is going to be confusing, is the Robert H. Mundheim Medal to the Living Spirit Award, established by Robert Mundheim. And it's awarded to individuals who champion NSSR through extraordinary professional accomplishments, exemplify the New School spirit, and demonstrate a commitment to strengthening the university's community and to the future of this institution. Now, the medal's unique name is derived from a quote from author Thomas Mann, who spoke at the University in Exile, now called NSSR, in 1937. The university's graduate school faculty had been charged with preserving the spirit of free inquiry amid the rule of oppressive governments during World War II, and Mann suggested that they adopt the motto, "To the Living Spirit." This year we award the medal to the Living Spirit to Robert Kosheva, who for more than a quarter century has indefatigably brought his talent, insight, and creativity to the advancement of NSSR, most recently serving for 13 years as Vice Dean. In interesting ways, Robert's life parallels and reflects the history of our school. Born in Poland, he was a student activist in communist Poland, involved in the so-called Flying University, a program of clandestine lectures and seminars for independent scholars and students held in private homes. He was also a participant in Poland's opposition movement in the 1970s and a founding member of the student union affiliated with Solidarity in the early 1980s. Robert arrived in New York City just days before the imposition of martial law in Poland that suppressed the reform movement for nearly a decade, and to escape that repression, he decided to stay, first studying for a PhD in intellectual history at the Graduate Center of the City of New York, and then working for several philanthropic organizations. Robert came to the New School in 1998, and here he found his intellectual and spiritual home, a refugee scholar in a school that began as the University in Exile. In his time at NSSR, he has advised and mentored several generations of graduate students. He served as an indispensable advisor to 8 NSSR deans. He's advised faculty and helped launch new academic initiatives, and he has strengthened relations with our alumni community and with donors. All of these tasks have been undertaken with good judgment, with deep integrity, and a wry sense of humor. Robert keeps one eye on the details of the present and another of the possibilities for the future. And it's with deep admiration that we award the Mundheim Medal to the Living Spirit to Vice Dean Robert Kosheva.
Dina Leinikov, faculty, distinguished guests, graduates, families, and friends. When German novelist Thomas Mann visited the New School in 1937 to speak at the university convocation, as well as to deliver 3 lectures on Goethe, Nietzsche, and Wagner, he reported that the Nazis had destroyed a plaque with the words, "To the Living Spirit," at the University of Heidelberg, and suggested that the New School faculty adopt this phrase as their own motto. And so they did. For over 25 years, my work at this university has been guided by a single unwavering belief that the living spirit Thomas Mann spoke of is not a static monument, but a calling that must be passed from person to person, from generation to generation. In my time at this unique institution, I have seen that excellence is never just about a brilliant thesis, diligent research, exquisite writing, or a rigorous data set. Excellence is found in the quiet moments of mentorship, in recognizing a student's spark before they see it themselves, and in building the scaffolding that allows their talent to reach its full height. To nurture talent is to protect the future of critical inquiry. I have had the profound privilege of watching our students transform from scholars in training into the voices that create knowledge and challenge the status quo. To receive this medal, named after Robert Mannheim, himself an extraordinary mentor, and rooted in our university's legacy of defiance of intellectual darkness, is the greatest honor one can strive for. To share this stage with Bob Mannheim is a great honor indeed. I'm also humbled by the presence of one earlier recipient of the medal, far more deserving than myself, Ilse Melamed. Ilse, I would like you to stand. Ilse is also a member of our Board of Governors, who has generously supported several generations of our students with fellowships, and one of them, at least one of them, is here today, graduating with a PhD in economics. Ilse herself escaped the Nazis in that adventure no child should be subjected to, known as Kindertransport. So let me be clear about this. I alone do not deserve this medal, but I'm happy to accept it on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the New School for Social Research, especially at this moment when we stand at the crossroads, uncertain of what the future might bring, trying to withhold pressures from without and pressures from within, political, financial, technological, and demographic. This is a challenging time in the history of higher education in the United States. A lot of our core principles, such as academic freedom, free inquiry, or more basically, our ability to express diverse opinions, and not only political ones, are being challenged by the current administration in Washington, as well as other voices in society. And we are trying to find an appropriate way to respond. Educators feel very much besieged by the current attacks and criticisms of universities, and the relative silence of our supporters outside of the academy, in my view, is pointing to our own failure to convey to the public at large what we are all about, what our mission and core values are, and why we need to defend them. But moments like this one also reinforce our commitment to ensuring that the New School remains a sanctuary where the spirit of free inquiry does not just survive, but thrives in the hands of our faculty and the students we train today, including this graduating class of 2026. When we consider our future, we should remember that our ultimate task is to protect what resides within these walls: the people, the knowledge, the values, and the living spirit. I'm grateful for the privilege of being part of this community. Thank you all.
I would now like to ask Assistant Dean Francesca Ferrono to present this year's awards to outstanding master's and PhD graduates. Award recipients, would you please come forward to receive your award when we call your name?
It is my honor to congratulate the class of 2026 on this remarkable achievement. Today, I heard one lone woo. Today, we celebrate your hard work, talents, creativity, and capacity to address the pressing problems of our time. It's a theme. Your success in attaining a graduate degree reflects both your commitment and the support and sacrifice of your loved ones. We look forward to sharing the pride and joy of your many future accomplishments. Congratulations to the graduates. We will now recognize the 2026 award recipients who are here at today's ceremony. The full list of honorees is in the digital program. The 2026 Outstanding Bachelor's Master's Graduate Award goes to Eliana Lazar, Philosophy. The 2026 Outstanding Master's Graduate Awards are as follows. Zoe Rain Evans, Anthropology. Eva Solardi Tierney, Creative Publishing and Critical Journalism. Nick Fort, Economics. Anthony Dean, Historical Studies. Atash Ali Naruzian, Graduate Program in International Affairs. Abby Merrick, Liberal Studies. Grace Jung, Philosophy. Yakisha Scott, Psychology. Hannah Rittner, Public and Urban Policy. Amelia Gwed, Sociology. And now for the 2026 Doctoral Commencement Awards. The Edith Henry Johnson Memorial Award in Economics, Civil Affairs, and Education, Armando Alvarez. Hans Jonas Award in Philosophy, Agnese De Riccio. Helen Marie Hittel Dissertation Award, Sarah Schweig. Alfred Schutz Memorial Award in Philosophy and Sociology, Paul John Gorey II. Alfred Schutz Memorial Award in Philosophy and Sociology, Bettina Jostis. Hannah Arendt Award in Politics, Clover Rashad. Alfred J. Merrow Memorial Award in Psychology, Helene Ross. The Alfred J. Merrow Memorial Award in Psychology, Scott McKernan. Irvin Rock Memorial Award in Psychology, Astea Prachaya. Irvin Rock Memorial Award in Psychology, Rebecca Dolgen. Jeremy D. Safran Award in Psychology, Nicole Ross. Jeremy D. Safran Award in Psychology, Jordana Douglas. Public and Urban Policy Dissertation Award, Maria Belén Fode. The Frida Wunderlich Memorial Award for Outstanding Dissertation by an International Student, Udipta Chakravarti. Many congratulations to you all.
The moment has now arrived to celebrate the graduates of the academic degree programs of the New School for Social Research. And I will ask the chairs and representatives of each program to introduce the candidates for degrees. The official conferral of degrees will occur on Monday at the university commencement at the Barclay Center. This event is an opportunity to recognize and show pride in each and every one of our graduates. And we will start tonight with our largest program, Creative Writing. John Reed, Associate Professor and Director of the MFA Creative Writing Program, and Lori Lynn Turner, Associate Director, would you please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in Creative Writing.
Hey everybody. So thanks so much for being here. I had this plan that I was going to read this very short speech, and I just have so many people to thank that maybe I shouldn't get started. But the Dean's office has been really remarkable, and Dean Olenikoff has been remarkable, and Dean Cox, and it has been a very difficult year of shifting things around. But we've been really, really grateful to get to know our faculty colleagues at NSSR. I look forward to working with everybody, and I feel like a real thing, you know? And then there's my faculty and Lori Lynn, and we've just been really in it. Thank you, everyone. We've just been in it together for so long. And looking around this room, it feels a little like a roller coaster with those long seats, and I just think we've been on this roller coaster for 3 years. And then my wonderful graduating class, thank you so much. It's been great chatting in rooms and having teasing agents and playing with puppets and talking about La Bhutan and everything we've done in the last 2 years. So I'm gonna sort of like speed through. I don't know. I want to speed through. So first I talk a little bit, and I'm going to skip over this part about the founding of the school. But what's kind of important is that Clara Woolley Mayer, who was a student of one of the founders, followed her professor from Columbia down here. And she would become one of the great heroes of the institution, serving as a trustee, a dean, and the university's vice provost. And this is coming into an event we did with philosophy a few days ago. And in 1959, at a ceremony very much like this one, she addressed what she called the need to write. She said, "Fundamentally, it is the need to think. And this we have stopped ourselves from doing for so long that we fail to recognize its deep necessity, its restorative, regenerative power." We will look back on this time as one of historic change. The United States hasn't seen this kind of rapid cultural evolution since the late 1960s. As a university and as a department, we've been through a great deal in recent years, and I have always been grateful for everyone who is a part of creative writing in the New School. I have taken comfort after whatever challenge in knowing that many of us will go back to our desks, that we understand the deep necessity of writing, of that restorative and regenerative power. In our place within the university, creative writing has always been simultaneously at the center of the curriculum and outside it. We have a few inside departmental truisms, one of which is creative writing is always first, and another of which is creative writing is different. In fact, creative writing has been a mainstay of the university since 1927, when the very first academic writing workshop was listed in the catalog of the New School for Social Research. That puts us very close to 100 years of creative writing at the New School and 30 years of the MFA, which was founded in 1997. And in all that time, creative writing has been a discipline peopled by an extraordinary faculty like those we have now and extraordinary students like those who are graduating today. I also want to say that this is the first year, this is kind of an historic year for us because we're joining up with CPCJ. So we're sharing a bunch of courses and we're very excited about developing that in the future. And it's going to mean that we have at the New School the only place in the world that has journalism, publishing, and an MFA in creative writing, and those MAs and that MFA all in one place. And I am going to call out Natasha Leonard and Jim Miller for helping to make that happen. So thank you to everyone here, administration, faculty, and friends and families. And turning back to Mayor in 1960, her second to last commencement, she asked of her audience, "Where do we go from here on this commencement night?" And she answers, "May I hope, as the New School has hoped and has tried to effectuate, to the rediscovery of personality, to the joy born of genuine independence and its inevitable reciprocal, joy in the independence of others." Thanks, everyone.
Okay, creative writing. Here we go. Ashley Leon. Chanel Garzon. Elias Pagan Garcia. Grace Carey D'Ignacio. Finn Mott. Excuse me. Grace Yalak Downer, sorry. Camila Ana Maria Marquez Gonzalez. Ajab Ahmed. Nellianne Palat Bateman. Marin Beverly. Tawanda S. Morgan. Michelle Woods. Kyra Marie Asibe Monsu. Nia Aisha Calloway. Olivia Rockman. Alexander Marley Robertson, sorry. Peyton Elizabeth Duffett. Tiernan Reese Bertrand Essington. Anthony Michael D'Angelico, sorry. No. Cleo Leilan Levin, excuse me. Marcus Scott Rosen. Madeline Adams. Great speech. Nandini Sharma. Shelby Wendy McDonald. Anand Salida. Isabella Dockery. Sorry. Catherine Diston Nall. Nicole Birnbach, excuse me. Gabriela Gonzalez. Gabriela. Karina Rose Philmeyer. Aaron Thomas Scott. GB Moynihan. Mimi Ginsburg. Sophia Elizabeth Reggie. Colleen Stein. Nicole Jordan Teicher. Erin Loretta Appenzeller. Nicole Ting. Linnea Pesha. Wendy Shire. Elise Hirak. Dominic Sabino Piazzini. Samantha Kristen Ligeti. Sorry. Matthew Robert King. Grayson Ballard. Hannah Marriott. Rebecca Lee Baldwin. Stephan Joseph Valenti. Fiona Maeve O'Flynn. Lu Tao Yang. Oh, I keep it. Lauren Retzel. Zoe Olivia Schumann. Sally Rebecca Rosenthal. Adeline Ona Saunders. Patrick Swain Curtin. Mary Caitlin Enright. Isabel Sinclair Scolard. Isabel Rocheline Mirabel. Ashley Lindsay Andre, sorry. Elise, I know you. Sorry, Elise. Thomas Steve Johnson. Riley. Lena May. Raya Ram Kumar. Is that everyone? Congratulations, creative writing MFA students. We're going to miss you.
Hugh Raffles, Professor and Chair of Anthropology, would you please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in the Department of Anthropology?
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everybody, for being here on this special day. Anthropology is the study of culture, basically what people say and what they do. Anyone, anywhere, anytime, and basically pretty much anyhow. That puts us in the enviable position of being exploratory and open, as well as rigorous and able to research just about anything. Our students and faculty work here in New York and all over the world. They grapple with questions that matter to all of us, questions about pain, suffering, and inequality, but also questions about pleasure and beauty. They resist easy answers, and they embrace thoughtfulness and hesitation. They work with film, photography, sound, and especially writing, and they manage to be smart, creative, disciplined, and focused, despite the pressure, anxiety, and distraction that they and the rest of us are feeling from the current assault on scholarship and creativity. This year's graduates deserve special congratulations for weathering these storms. Anthropology at the New School is a close-knit, intimate community. We're eager to talk to each other about our work and to help each other meet our goals. Students are generous and inclusive. They're intellectually and personally courageous. And working together is challenging, and it can be exhausting, but it's also very rewarding. This, of course, makes commencement a bittersweet time. As faculty, we're sad to lose day-to-day contact with these students, but we're also happy and tremendously proud to celebrate their accomplishments. I now have the honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the degrees in the Department of Anthropology at the New School for Social Research. Will the candidates for the degrees please come forward?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Mike Marciano, Bowen Lee, Lowen Lee, William Bilston, Tanmay Pandya, Mia Woods, Zoe Rowan Evans,
Natasha Leonard, Associate Director of Creative Publishing and Critical Journalism. Would you please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in Creative Publishing and Critical Journalism?
Hi, everyone. It's an honor to be here. I love NSSR so much. It's truly a privilege to congratulate the graduates of our MA in CPCJ, that's Creative Publishing and Critical Journalism. So now you're no longer students. You're no longer classmates. You're my colleagues, and that means you're each other's colleagues too, in this difficult, imperiled, and nonetheless crucial work. We're in this together. What is this? It is the work of slicing up the world into narrative form, into news and criticism, what gets to be a story at all. Its shape, sources, contexts, priorities, inclusions, and crucially, exclusions. This work of knowledge production is intractably political, whether or not an explicit political stance is proffered. I won't encourage you in the face of fascist acceleration to simply speak truth to power. Truth-telling is a necessary but wildly insufficient tool in the face of disinterested power. But nonetheless, it is necessary. The best journalistic work and critical writing understands itself to be a necessary but insufficient condition for social change. And I'm so, so proud to be your colleague in this necessary work going forward. I'm so proud of each and every one of you, but I do feel like I would like to give a special mention to our graduate, Ahmad Wahidi, who is a Palestinian journalist and a filmmaker from Gaza. Ahmad managed to get out and join us in 2024 mere months after an Israeli strike on his family home killed his mother and sister and left him injured. His surviving family, I believe, are watching us today, so I send my solidarity and love. We are so lucky he survived. Over 270 journalists in Gaza have been slaughtered in the last 3 years. Ahmad's steadfastness honors the NSSR's legacy as a home for scholars in exile, and you honor your mama, Nisreen. But I love and I'm so proud of all of you, so please rise and join us as colleagues in this world going forward.
The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Eva Cle Silardi Tierni, Cara Nicole Sigeti, Caitlin Nicole Kimberlin, Maria Monserrat Marti, Camilla Andrade Pires, Jill Bittner, Mandy Kim, Fatoumata Bah, Sasha Harris Fauch, Lillian Page Heckler, Ash Reynolds, Kaylee Cassidy, Rachel Potter, Catherine Marie Gerdes, Ahmad Wuhidi, Alexandra Chavez, Sering Dolka Gurung, Mariana Jacobi Goldberg, Reina Anis Salam, Austin Ryan Tannenbaum,
Paulo dos Santos, Associate Professor and Chair of Economics. Would you please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in the Department of Economics?
I think it would be a slight exaggeration to say that Antonio Gramsci has become a household name. I'll grant everybody that. But he has become a mainstay of many discussions about the present moment in history. Certainly, much like his world a century ago, our world is full of morbid symptoms, as he called them. Symptoms of a deep unraveling, rising socioeconomic inequality, war, totalitarianism, attacks on scholarship, and on the very notion of expertise, ethno-nationalism, and the systematic dehumanization of entire peoples, and of course, adding to the mix, climate change. He referred to these periods as interregna, periods between the time where the old is dying and the new cannot be born yet. He believed those were times of monsters, but he also believed those were times of hope, times of opportunity. And there are periods of opportunity because when things unravel, it is much easier to see that yesterday's conventional wisdom was effective not so much because it was wise, but simply because it was conventional. These periods of unraveling, as the old dies, we may even realize, if we're lucky and we do our homework, that dissenting and marginalized ideas in social research are not dusty academic conceits. They are tools that, if creatively refashioned and wielded, can help us build something new. So it's in that spirit that I want to speak to our economics graduates today. Beyond the technical elements of economic analysis and critical political economy that we spent the past few years discussing, my real hope is that we have helped impart two things in your minds, in your values. Whether the next chapter in your life is professional, whether you're engaging with policy, with politics, or, heavens forbid, scholarship. I really hope that you can have the confidence to reject things you cannot accept. But if you do so, please recognize and accept that this place is a great burden on you. The burden to be genuinely creative. The burden of ruthless self-criticism. Sometimes, the burden of personal risk. But above all and always, the burden of responsible leadership. I am very proud of you for what you have done, but not as proud as I am of what you will do in the decades to come. I now have the honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the PhD in economics, MA degrees in economics and in global political economy and finance, and the MS degree in economics. Will the candidates please come forward?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Nicholas Charles Wallenford, Nicole Mendes, Kidus Jonas Desta, the candidate for the degree of Master of Arts is Kendrick Castellanos. The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Jan Gnagdinke, Jasper Clemens André, Waverly Paul Langston, Joseph Dennis Fitzpatrick, the candidate for the degree of Master of Science is Durgesh Aigayonkar. Nitesh Kumar. The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy are Armando Andres Alvarez Navas, Ricardo David Hernandez Chouet, Tato Kundadze, Hanin Kawalba, Gabriel Ricardo Padro Rosario, Samuel Owusu, Mohammed Obaidi, Christopher Robin Herdeling,
Rachel Schreiber, University Professor, Professor of Art, Media, and Cultural History, and Program Director of the Gender and Sexuality Studies Graduate Certificate. Please come forward to present the recipients of the Graduate Certificate in Gender and Sexuality Studies.
Congratulations to this year's graduates of the Certificate in Gender and Sexuality Studies. Students in our graduate certificate program study topics of importance related to gender and sexuality using methodologies from the range of disciplines offered here at the New School for Social Research. This interdisciplinary program creates a community of scholarship and inquiry here for faculty and students who seek to understand how gender and sexuality shape our social, cultural, and political lives. It would be hard to overstate the importance of this area of study to today's world, given the intense backlash against gender equity that we are experiencing. I now have the honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the Certificate in Gender and Sexuality Studies. Will the candidates for the certificate please come forward?
Are any of the candidates for the Graduate Certificate in Gender and Sexuality Studies present?
Caitlin Nickel. I saw her.
Caitlin Grace Nickel.
Thank you, Sarah. Julia Ott, Associate Professor and Chair of History. Would you please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in the Historical Studies program?
Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure and honor to be with you this evening. How did we get to the place where we are? By posing this question, history serves as a field of inquiry that is critical to all human understanding. Without history and historians, social research loses its essential contextual anchor. Historical thinking guides us in navigating the complex social and political challenges of our time. In an era of rampant misinformation, historical studies equips us to evaluate specious claims and to challenge distorted narratives. Tonight, I offer the department's hearty congratulations to our graduating class. Their work this year embodies our most deeply cherished intellectual values: conceptual rigor, analytic insight, archival intrepidness, and clarity in written expression. Graduates, you have made each and every one of us faculty very, very proud. Thank you. I now have the honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the degrees in the Historical Studies program. Will the candidates for the degrees please come forward?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Kayvon Navid Atherton, Elliot J. Ferro, Kiran Ray Pfaffinger, Sarah Allison Margolin, Anthony Jesse Dean.
Sean Jacobs, Professor of International Affairs. But wait, there's more. And Director of the Graduate Program in International Affairs. Please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in International Affairs.
Thank you, Alex. First, thanks to everyone who helped bring our graduates to this moment today, staff, faculty, family, friends, and fellow students. It's no overstatement to say that this academic year was marked by upheaval, loss, and profound change for international affairs. Most significantly, last October, it was announced that GPIA would be discontinued after spring 27. This at a moment when global affairs increasingly shape domestic politics and everyday life. We also lost Phil Acree, a beloved member of our staff, and in many ways the heart of GPIA, especially for our students. This graduating class is GPIA's penultimate class, and for some of us, this is our final time presiding over graduation as faculty. That reality makes today both bittersweet and deeply meaningful, but above all, today is a celebration. So to our graduates, congratulations. Carry forward your curiosity, your courage, and your commitment to justice. I want to leave our graduates with an insight from Edward Said. I've never felt myself to belong to any establishment of any kind, any mainstream. I'm interested in mainstreams. I'm jealous of them. I sometimes, occasionally envy people who belong to them, because certainly I don't. But on the whole, I think they the enemy. I feel that authorities, canons, dogmas, orthodoxies, establishments are really what we're up against, at least what I'm up against most of the time. It is now my honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the degrees in international affairs. Will the candidates please come forward?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Atash Ali Novruzian. Caitlin Sayers Rafaelson. Fernanda Rebelato. Rowan Alexander McLachlan. Ivan Peck Luna. Simona Ranieri Kane. Nolan Young. Sigrid Werner Zelt. Olivia Nicole Ellis. Trevor James Pimentel. Niyati Pendekananti. The candidates for the degree of Master of Science are Ingrid Alexandra Nielsen. Manuel Bajillo. Leila Novruz. Constanza Bucare Andaur. Kay Grigar.
Inessa Medziboyskaya. Did I do that right? I think so. Professor of Liberal Studies and Literary Studies, please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in the Liberal Studies program. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. I would like to congratulate our graduates, the bravest people in the world. I want to applaud their courage for studying liberal studies in our endangered world. Liberal studies are sometimes described as a potpourri or smorgasbord, all that you can eat while you are here. But there is this good old saying, plenus venter non studet libenter. Full stomach does not make you a good scholar. Gone are the days when men of polite learning and liberal education were the end goal of this degree. As when if a child of a button maker would feel that their soul is above buttons and that it panted for a liberal civic profession. Recall the spoiled, puffed up, feckless and reckless libertines in Hamlet's soliloquies. Or the selfish triumphs of a medieval ascetic who was tired of the world and would be proud of saving their own soul, liberavi animam meum, and to hell with the world. To paraphrase Shakespeare, we're indeed liberal in offers, but we are very selective. In not satisfying the sated, the liberal studies at the New School for Social Research are here to connect learners with the most important questions and conversations and put them to useful work. The often quoted image of a fragile candle in Hannah Arendt's Men in Dark Times sometimes obfuscates the fact the book is not a how-to manual, but it's a set of important conversations with friends and those long gone, Lessing, with whom she begins. They were able to see in everything the possibility of the survival of the phenomena of life. With Benjamin's owned Angelus Novus here in town, less than 80 blocks away, it is tempting to rush all complexities and condense them into as few theses as possible. But as history flits by, nothing is for granted, no liberty itself. As one of the icons of conservatism once put it, the people never give up their liberties but under some delusion. What the masters of the arts of studying under the species of liberty achieve is to identify and defy these machinations. I now have the honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the degrees in liberal studies. Will the candidates for the degrees please come forward?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Abby Merrick, Violet Palas-Dara Huntforth, Sohee Jung, Arjuni Kaur Havla, Camelia Yvonne Schiner, Jamison John York,
Omri Bohm, Associate Professor and Chair of Philosophy, would you please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in the Department of Philosophy?
Dear graduates, where are you? I'm trying to locate, This morning, I was trying to explain to my 11-year-old son that today we will be giving you degrees, but that unlike in many other fields, we do not think of a degree in philosophy as an entry into a profession. Philosophy is a vocation. And since you are receiving a degree today, I suspect that you already had this vocation long before receiving an official piece of paper from us. Simon was also referring to that issue. And if you did not arrive to us already with this vocation, I suspect that we are also not the one who could have given you such a vocation. What I hope we could give you is a place to read and think more deeply together with others who share this vocation, which is rare, and perhaps even to introduce you into a tradition within philosophy that seeks to combine rigorous historical and technical craft with an uncompromising commitment to the idea that truth is inseparable from justice. These words may sound pompous, and perhaps they are, but philosophy is only alive when they're not empty, and it is our task to preserve it. Congratulations on your wonderful achievements, and I hope you never lose sight of this connection as you move on from this place, and also that you write back home to us. I now have the honor and the pleasure to present the candidates for the degree in philosophy. Will the candidates please come forward?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Eliana Grace Lazar, Grace Young, Christian William Simonson, Lou Ferns, Tara Thompson, Jude Palomino, Shaban Deringer, Daiming Bai, Weifan Mo, Yi Tong Wang, Sarah Elizabeth Bello, Daniel Lazar, Cameron Aidan Sullivan, Kent Taylor, Ashton Stewart Lyle, Matthew Thomas Sherman. The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy are Paul John Gore, Sarah Schweig, Agnese Di Ricchio, Mariam Said Mohammed Abbas Matar, Miranda Young,
Rafi Yuat, Associate Professor and Chair of Politics. Would you please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in the Department of Politics?
On behalf of the Politics Department, it's my honor and privilege to welcome the graduating class of 2026 today, their families and their friends. I have 1 minute or so, which is just a little more than a good TikTok video, and if my math is right, it's about a third the length of an NSSR thesis challenge. It's not really a time that academics like very much. We're very much of the long form. We like to work out, to research, to write, to think. And yet, I think increasingly a distilled, quick vision and version is critical too, in the political world as well as in the academic one. So here's the short version. This is a particularly political time. All times are political, of course, especially if you're a political scientist, but these ones are especially so. The conditions and contestations of shared life within states as well as geopolitically, and at planetary scales as well as at local ones. Questions of political legitimacy, authority, and power, and the ways people inhabit, move through, and understand what political life can be are all at the forefront of our work. And while we do not welcome much of what is happening in the world right now, we certainly do not shy away from it either, because we think we can gain some grasp on it, both in terms of its newness and in terms of its repetitions, through our study, and then ultimately to shape it by our better understanding of it. This deep study brings its own truths, but it also brings distilled ones. And my distilled truth right now is that my minute is almost up, and that political authority often lies in the regulating of time and in the organizing of space and its flows. And so I want to congratulate all of our graduates on their hard work and respect their accomplishments today. I have the honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the degrees in the Department of Politics. Will they please come forward?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Abigail Milena Mitchell, Ryan Michael Busilla, the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy are Grigory Yudin, Robert Gaius Shaver, Clove Araminta Rashad, Orsolia Lehotai, Anastasia Kalk, Dion Nanya, Chala Orpen, Alexandra Panzarelli,
Oscar Sosa Lopez, Assistant Professor of Policy and Social Justice and Chair of the MS Public and Urban Policy Program, and Michael Cohen, Professor of International Affairs and Director of the Doctoral Program in Public and Urban Policy. Would you please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in Public and Urban Policy?
On behalf of the Faculty of Masters in Public and Urban Policy, I want all our students to know that we were very, very happy to be your professors for several semesters and years. We're even happier that you're done. We can't wait for you to go out and do great things, mostly because we want to take credit for all your success. Now, seriously, these are very, very difficult times in the world. And now more than ever, we need policy experts that are creative, that are able and competent at applying rigorous methods in the design of evidence-based policy, and that are committed to social justice. I can assure you that every single candidate that's gonna walk across this stage is ready to meet this moment, so not all is lost. Completing a Master's of Science in Public and Urban Policy is no small enterprise. A lot of our students are full-time workers, or rather they have full-time jobs and other obligations, but they always show up and they do amazing work. I'm very proud of you, and I want to congratulate you. With that, I must say that I now have the honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the degrees in Masters in Public and Urban Policy. Will the candidates for the degrees please come forward?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Science are Hannah Rittner, Aaron Raphael Bernstein, Bernadette Anne-Marie Daly, Mika Andre Domingo, David Alexander Hayes, Paige Roller, Nyara Elizabeth Matsimela, Juliana Faomei, Sean Master,
We've heard a lot of inspirational comments and suggestions from people this afternoon. It's been wonderful to hear everybody, to understand the different perspectives that people bring from different disciplines. On the other hand, it definitely gives me a sense, and this is my first time after many years in the university, of being in the NSSR ambito. And I feel moved by this, and I appreciate the advice that have been given to people. I think that they're wonderful and inspirational. To the students, to the graduates, I would say the thing that I'm most impressed with, finally, at this moment in time, is your courage. Your courage to stick with it, to work under very difficult circumstances, more uncertainty than most generations face at any particular time, and a future that's filled with question marks and many unresolved questions. But they also suggest that this is a time when your ability to think, as Simon so well said, that ability to think is more important than ever. So we look forward to seeing more creativity and more working and more energy and more long nights and more dreams, indeed dreams, and things to think about as you anticipate the world that you're entering, because it's not easy, and I think people understand that. I now have the honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the degrees of Doctors of Arts and Science in the doctoral program for Public and Urban Policy. Will the candidates please come forward?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Philosophy is Raymond Daniel Medina, and the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy are Liat Eisen. Maria Belen Ford. Moniz Raquel Valente da Silva. Andrea Patricia Linas Vajos. Michael Stuck. Sandra Paola Rincon Corrales. Anan Malouf.
Benoit Chalon, Professor and Chair of Sociology, would you please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in the Department of Sociology?
I'm honored to represent the Department of Sociology tonight, and I introduce a remarkable group of students who've been so dedicated in their studies and extremely eloquent, as we could hear earlier at the start of this ceremony. These are all students who have, over the years, opened our hearts to the injustice of the world, who have demonstrated courage in their research, teaching, and writing on issues that are increasingly pushed on the margin of academic pursuit in the United States. I cannot do justice to all the themes, countries, theories they write on, but I can only cite a few of their topics. Issues of citizenship in post-colonial context, decaying infrastructure and liberalism, theories of cultural consumption, race, international law, etc. These MA and PhD students have added their own contribution, their own voice to the sociology department's tradition of qualitative, comparative historical analysis, and theoretically driven scholarship that sets it apart in an academic environment that increasingly values quantitative metrics and quick fixes. And I think that all here in this podium, we can agree that this is not just true for this department, sociology, but for all of NSSR units. And that in those extremely difficult times, it is our graduate students who have largely kept the banner of critical inquiry floating over NSSR and the new school. So we celebrate a cohort of MA students who make us immensely proud with their own achievement, some graduating in 1 year after a graduation at Lang, so doing the BA, MA track, and new doctors of sociology with significant achievement. Congratulations to all of them. I have now the honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the degrees of MA in Sociology and PhD in Sociology. Will the candidates please move forward for the degrees?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Dafu Curtis Dai, Joel Oscar Biliami Haltunen, Jason Patrick Felipe, Emilia Nina Gold, Bizal Zainab Ali. I'm sorry. This was a degree in, this was a PhD degree in sociology. So the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy are Maria Ignacia Eschelbach, Julian Gomez Delgado, Udipta Chakravarti. Bettine Fee Justice.
William Hurst, Malcolm B. Smith, Professor and Chair of Psychology, please come forward and present the recipients of the degrees in the Department of Psychology.
In the interest of making sure you can go get your non-alcoholic drink as quickly as possible, let me just say to all of the psychology students receiving their MA and their PhD, well done. You have done it real well, and you deserve it completely. As you move forward in your quest to understand as students more about how the mind works, how at times it can cause problems, and also how you might ameliorate some of the problems the mind has caused one to face, you've had to tackle a great deal. One of the distinctive aspects of psychology at the New School is that it doesn't ask you to simply bear down on a particular expertise. It asks you to take a broad perspective on things. This has made you, I think, approach the problems that you are interested in not just as narrow experts, but as broad scholars. Some of you will go on with your education, others will join the workforce in a host of different ways, but whatever you do, you hopefully will find that you have learned something of great use for your pursuits. And in particular, I hope that you will continue in that New School tradition and be engaged in a range of scholarship and find ways to apply your chosen profession. But I want to end with a more personal note. I'm the scholar that I am because I came to the New School. I learned so much from my faculty in the different departments, the diverse perspectives, something that I really hadn't encountered before. I remember very clearly coming here and sitting in a faculty meeting and somebody said, you know, the New School is all about critical theory. And I thought, who isn't critical? It was only a recognition that this recognized an approach to scholarship that I was not familiar with. But most of all, not just from the faculty, I have learned from the students. As I was thinking about this, I went back to thinking about the autobiographical memory seminar I taught in the fall. And I literally skipped away from the seminar, partially because I was very anxious and I needed exercise in order to calm that anxiety, but also how happy I was. I was anxious because the students had challenged my preconceived notions. They had made me into, I think, a better intellectual individual because they had really given me a ride, they had shaken my presumptions up. And I was happy because the students had done just that. That they had made me uncomfortable, that they had made me move forward in my thinking. And I think that most of all, I want to thank you, the students, for really making me the person I am and making my colleagues the persons they are. And I want to congratulate you so much in making me as uncomfortable as I often am as I encounter you. So thank you very much. And it's my honor at this point and pleasure to present the candidates for the degrees of both the MA and PhD in psychology. And will the candidates for the degrees please come forward?
The candidates for the degree of Master of Arts are Eva Martina Piras, Yakeisha Scott, Xiaoqian Gu, Courtney Alexandra Stewart, Olivia Altman, Eleni Stileni Kostidakis, Jace Huang, Claire Olivia Swanson, Zara Javli, Zerin Özdenur Alper, Frank Watkins, Jacqueline Renée Egelfeld, Christina Mobley, Caitlin Grace Nickel, Oishiki Ganguly, M. Isa, Vedlia Sharma, Arieta Jerefsi, Azana Kanduri, Sinye Achiri Asksangweh, De La Rosa Kosloy, Samuel Grace Connor Self, Zoe Rowe Mitan, Catherine Louise McDermott, Kayomi Homiyar Damodiwala, Sophia Estelle Blattner Inc., Mayan Luker, Carlos Greg Kumer Bautista, Oren Beiser, Nicole Lara Respiti, Ryan Michel Marquis, Eleanor Howard Henry, Ana Luis Siltali Mercier, Morgan Elizabeth Dablemont, Alexandra Yael Khan, Mary Figueres Norfleet Stallings, Linda Denton Eastman, the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical Psychology are Hallie Jet Bernstein, Helene Emma Reyes, Scott Michael McKernan, Cristina Alexis Panas. Antonina Pavlenko. Jordana Douglas. Nadia Eshrat Rahman. Nicole Ross. Ellen Yom. The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Cognitive, Social, and Developmental Psychology are Estea Prima Percaya, Rebecca Susan Dolgin,
Just a final word here. We've heard a lot about critical thought and scholarship here, certainly what unites us as a community, but there's another word we haven't heard quite as much, and that's the word love. And I think there's a love for this community, there's a love among the students and those who came to support the students today, and with the faculty. And as you go forward into the world, bring both those things with you, the thought and the love. Come back. We will be here, and we will see you then. It's been a great honor and a pleasure working with you during your time at the New School, and we look forward to continuing your connection in years to come. Congratulations to the New School for Social Research, class of 2026. This concludes our recognition ceremony. Please listen carefully to what will happen next. As our graduates exit, we invite you to join us at one of 4 receptions. International Affairs and Public and Urban Policy, please go to the Faculty and Staff Lounge on the 7th floor of this building. Creative Writing, please go to the Star Foundation Hall on the lower level. Psychology, please go to the Events Cafe on the lower level. And all other programs, please go to the cafeteria on the 2nd floor. I ask the audience to remain seated until the entire academic procession marches out. And before we go, just a big thanks to the New School staff members who made it possible today. Our Executive Dean's Office. And now, graduates and platform party, if you will please rise, I declare these commencement exercises adjourned.